Good morning. Today we continue our series in design notification system. We have a system design interview, let's assume that. And today we talk about the proposed high-level design. We are in the second step. And the first step we talk about how to understand problem, and we talk about what are the questions important to ask. And from the questions that are important to ask, we just get our requirement, and we say that all the time that even though if you think that your requirements are the best requirements you can see ever, you have to ask for clarifications each time. So in this one we have the second we are proposing the high level design. By looking at the requirements, I guess we will have a good idea of proposing the high level design. But let's just look at the requirements first again, so to just refresh your memory if you didn't watch the previous video. So basically, we want to design a notification system that push notification, have push notification, has SMS notification, and also has email notification. We want to have a soft real-time system, so maybe we have got slightly delay. It's acceptable. We are supporting iOS, Android, and desktop. We want our data to be as reliable as possible. We can't afford any loss in data. We have a 10 million push notification, we have 1 million SMS notification, and we have 5 million emails notification. Also, users can choose not to receive if they want. So let's propose in the high level design, and I think in the high level design we will talk about 3 parts. Let's just okay, so let's just talk about 3 parts, and I want to make it can you make it small? Yeah, thank you. So the first one that I will talk about, that we will talk about the different types of notifications. Notifications. Second, I guess we will talk about the contact info, or how actually we got the information of the user that we are sending the notification to. Contact info. And the 3, we will talk about the sending and receiving flow, but on high level. Okay, so let's just start with the different types of notification. So the different types of notifications, if you want to talk about it, we have mainly, I guess, 3 types. No, 4 types. We have 4 types. We have the iOS push notification, we have the Android push notification, we have SMS push notifications, and we have email push notification. Let's start with the iOS push notification. iOS push notification. So basically what we are going to see here, let's see that we have let's just make this one pretty small. We have a provider, it's first of all, can you make it bigger? Not that big, please. Okay, make it wide, please. Provider, and the provider sends its message to something called APNS, and we'll talk what that means actually. And the APNS sends the notification to the iOS device that we want to send the notification to. So basically, we primarily need 3 components for this notification, for the iOS notification to work. Let me just take it. So First of all, we have a provider. So a provider builds and sends notification requests to Apple Push Notification Service. So APNS called, it's short for Apple Push Notification Service, to connect a push notification to the provider. So basically, to connect the notification, we have the provider should provide the APNS this data. First of all, let me just have this. First of all, we should provide it with a device token. And this one, basically, it's device token. It's a unique identifier used for sending a push notification. And we have something called a payload. And this payload, it's a JSON dictionary that contains notifications payload. Like, for example, I will just give you an example with it. So it will be an object, and inside the object we will have something called APS, and inside this object we will have APS, and this have also another object, and maybe let's say that it will be maybe have something called alert, and let me just make this quite bigger. And we have alert, and this alert maybe have its object that has something called title and body. Let's assume that's only title for now to make it easy for us. And title has like something, has info string, and yeah. So this is how the the type of data that the provider should provide the APNS with to make sure that the APNS works. And the APNS, it's this is a remote service provided by Apple to propagate push notifications to iOS devices. And the iOS device is the end client with which receive the notifications. If we talk about, let me just copy that because it's a quite similar. Also, the Android have this similar. What is this? Let me copy this one, please. Copy and paste. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So if I talk about the Android, basically it's the same idea, but instead of having the APNS, we have something called FCM. The Android basically adopts a similar notification flow, and instead of having the APNS, we have something called FCM, which is short for Fire-based cloud messaging, and it's commonly used to push notifications to Android devices. Let's talk about the fourth, which will be the SMS messages. We have SMS, and in this one, basically we have a provider, and also we have something called SMS service. So basically in this one, for SMS messages, we use we use a third-party SMS service like Twilio. It's really famous. Or actually, we have something called Nexmo. It's also famous, but I guess Twilio is the mostly famous one. And basically, many other there's a lot of actually businesses that provide the SMS third parties, but this is the most two famous ones of them. Also, it's basically it's the same flow. You can see it's the same flow. Maybe we have the last one, which will be the email, which the email is slightly different, but it looks the same, but it's really slightly different. So if we have an email flow, let me just give it the user like that and just type email, and we have, instead of SMS service, we have something called email service. Can I make this? Yeah. So in this one, although like companies can set up their own email service servers, many of them basically prefer to use commercial or use third parties providers to send the emails with. We have Centigrade, the most famous one. We have also Mailchimp, and we have also SES. It's a service from AWS called Simple Email Service. Basically, among the most popular services, it's all of them works fine. All of them are great services. They have this email service. Just you connect with it and you send iOS, but it's slightly different with the SMS service and the FSM. Is that you have to work more with rendering the HTML and the components of your email. But it's I guess this is out of the scope of this system design interview. You just need to do on high level design. So I guess right now we talked about the different types of notifications. So I guess let's just try to make a draw of what we talked about. So, and I want to make this one really long. Okay, and so we talked about four components. Okay, so let's just say we do this component and this, and also have this. Okay, and let's just make this one pretty small. Okay, so the first one we have, first of all, we have APNS, and we have FCM, and we have SMS service, and we have email service. These are third-party services, and basically what's going to happen is that we have a provider. The provider send the data or the payload to any one of these services, and these services sends. Let me. Why it's not straight? Yeah. Okay, that's better. And let me do this also. No, make it small, man. Make it small. And this will be Android. And let me copy all of that. Let me copy this one. And this will be iOS. And we have this one, it will be mobile, I guess. Mobile. And I guess this one will be email. So right now, this is our design looks like this right now. It will be way more different when we end, but let's just start baby steps actually. So this is what we know right now. So let's continue to look at the second step, which is that how we can get the how we can gather the information of the user. So to send the notifications, we basically need to gather mobile device tokens, phone numbers, emails, address, maybe email templates. We need a lot of things for it to satisfy, because we have payloads that we have to send, and we have to know which number we're sending this notification. We have to know all of that. So a good flow for this one, if we just we connected, or we saved our user data into a DB. So let's just say that we have a user, okay, and from this user we have example, send like a request to a load balancer, and sorry, oh, let me do it right. Load balancer, and from the load balancer it sent the request to API servers, and from the API servers it saved it to the database, a DB. Okay, so we basically saved our users information into database, and we just try to in this database it will be like a SQL database, and we store the user ID, the email, maybe the country code. Also we can use device token, maybe last logged time. We can sort this information to be pretty handy to know basically which is the information about the users that we are sending to. And yeah, that's it basically for the second step. I guess the third one, we have how to know the flow. So let's just make this one like that, and just make this one white again. So on a high level design, let's go back here. On high level design, let's just add some more complexity to this design. Okay, so we have service, let's call it 1, and okay, so we have service 1, service 2, and service 3, and we have in middle between, let's make this pretty wide, we call it a notification service, notification system, and basically they send please make it straight, and we send here, and oh no, this is not good, let's just make it good. Okay, and from this we send to any one of the services. Let's just add more, and yeah, last. Okay, so let's just start to talk about this design. So first of all, we have service 1 and 2 and 3, and a service can be basically a microservice, or a cron job, or a distributed system that triggers notification sending events. For example, maybe like we have a billing service sends emails to remind customers of their payment, or also we have maybe like a service that maybe you have a shopping website, and you have a service order service that sends emails to customers based on changing on the status of their emails. We have a notification system. The notification system is a centerpiece of the send receiving notification, starting with something simple right now. We only have one service because we want to start with something simple. Um, Only basically it provides APIs for services, for these services, for the C services that we have, and builds a notification payload for third-party services. We have the third-party services, and the third-party services are responsible for delivering notifications to users while integrating with third-party services. We need to pay extra attention to the extensibility, and basically what is a good extensibility. A good extensibility is a flexible system that can easily plug in or plug or unplug any third party service, maybe because a party is not available, a party has been fallen, things like that. Another important consideration is that third party services might be unavailable, as I said before. So in maybe in a specific markets like China, or maybe like Africa, something like that, or even Europe. So for instance, we Firebase is not available in China. So we have alternative third-party services such as GPOS or like PushY, something like that. I don't remember actually. So you will use this. So we need our system to be as flexible as possible. Let's talk about the third parties, the iOS, Android, SMS, emails. Basically, these are users receive notification on these on their devices by these third party applications. We have mainly, I guess, three problems with this section, which will be like, first of all, we have a single point of failure because we have a single notification server as you see. We have hard to scale. The notification system handles everything related to push notifications is in one server, and it's really challenging to scale. Maybe you have a performance bottleneck. Maybe if you have a processing and sending notifications, it can be can take someone, maybe like we are requesting for HTML pages, something like that, and this is take a lot of time, so we have to wait all of that. So maybe can have a problem with performance. So to fix these problems, maybe we can talk just high level design improved. This is a high level design. The next video will just try to take deep dive into the design. So the high level design, first of all, we can move the database and the cache outside of the server. So we have let's have this one. This will be DB. And we have another one which will be cache. Okay. And let's just make it like that. Okay. And also we can introduce a message queue. So let me just do something like that. Let's just put this pray for. Yeah. Okay. So let's just put 3 squares here. Message queue, and oh shit. Let's just connect these message queues here, and the message queue will connect directly with the services. And we'll talk about what is the importance of all of what you're doing right now. Oh, no. Let's just look at this one like that. So, we first of all, we moved the database and the cache out of the notification server. The second, we add more notification servers and set up a horizontal notification. So let's assume that we have a horizontal notifications here. We can add more servers as we want. The last, we introduce the message queues. Let's just try to talk about what the components are now, one by one. So first of all, we have the service, the service, and they basically represent different services that can send notifications via APIs provider. We have the notification servers, which is this one. Right now, this is not the notification system anymore. It's notification servers, and it can scale horizontally. And they provide the following functionality. They provide APIs for services to send notifications, and those APIs are only accessible internally or by verified clients to prevent spams. We have carry out basic validations to verify emails, phone numbers, etc. Also, we have queried the database or cache to fetch data needed to render notifications. Lastly, we have put notification data on to messenger queues for parallel processing. We have a cache. We have the cache section. And in this cache section, user info, maybe like we store the user info or the frequently accessed data, basically, specifically about the cache. We have the DB, and this one, it stores data about the user notification settings, etc. We have the message queues, and the message queues, they remove the dependency between the components. Message queues serve as buffers when a high volume of notifications are to be sent out, So each notifications type is assigned with a distinct message queue. So an outage in one third-party service will not affect other notification types. We have workers also. So the workers are the list of servers that pull notifications. I forgot to add the workers. Let's just put the workers here. No. Workers. And I'm just doing the same here. Sorry, I forgot to add the workers, but they are pretty important. Workers, and we have also here workers, and here we have workers, and the workers actually are the list of servers that pull notification events from the message queues and send them to the corresponding third-party applications. We have the iOS emails and the SMS within the third party, and this already explained. We talked about them. So let's just talk about what's going on by one. So one, the service calls APIs provider by notification service to send the notifications. Second, the notification service fetch metadata such as user info, device to token, and notification setting, etc. from the cache. If they find it, they will take it from the DB. Third, notification event is sent to the corresponding message queue for processing. For processing. Fourth, workers pull notifications event from message queue. Fifth, the workers send notifications to third-party services, and six, the third-party services send the notification finally to the users. So that's it for today's video, and that's it for the high-level design video of the system design here. I hope you like my video. If you like my video, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And if you found my description wasn't that good, just give me a comment, tell me what exactly you didn't like so I can improve myself about it. So that's it for this video, and see you in future problems.